Ladies and gentlemen, the time for waiting is over. The future of high-speed transportation is finally here. The luxurious Hyperloop is about to change the entire world of commuting. Before we know it, we'll be rocketing from city to city at over 700 miles per hour, immersed in state-of-the-art levitating pods, all while combating climate change one trip at a time. Thanks to the visionary minds of Elon Musk and Richard Branson, not to mention the billions of dollars thrown around, we're about to witness a revolution in transportation. So how does this floating train actually work, and when will we be able to use it? Seatbelts on, let's find out. Alright, so what exactly is this supposedly revolutionary Hyperloop? We know it's a train, but if we look a little closer, it's not like any train we've ever seen before. Where are the wheels, the coal, the steam? Those traditional aspects are thrown out the window, and it's all in the name of convenience, efficiency, and sustainability. As the new form of ground transportation, the Hyperloop aims to be the benchmark transit system of the future. Before too long, its tunnels will not only be connecting neighboring cities in record-breaking time, but they'll be traversing underwater, cutting through mountains, perhaps even going fully vertical. Is this the new world equivalent of Willy Wonka's glass elevator? To answer that question, global engineering and tech giants will need to put this fascinating project to the test, and to do so, they'll need to spend big. But before we jump into the nitty-gritty of the money, and there's a lot of money changing hands, let's get an understanding of how this amazing technology actually operates. At its core, the Hyperloop is a type of modernized VacTrain system. Say what? VacTrain is the conjoining of the words vacuum and train, which is essentially what this futuristic project really is. The magnetically propelled capsules are shot through the airtight, low-pressure tubes that are elevated off the ground at, get this, over 750 miles per hour. Since the tubes are deliberately drained of their excess inner air, in other words vacuum, the friction and drag is brought to an absolute minimum. Just to put that speed into perspective, here's the world's fastest car, a Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300+. Here's a Boeing 747, and here's our dear Hyperloop. Ready? Go! The Hyperloop travels at more than double the speed of the supercar and leaves the plane firmly in its dust as well. It's not even a competition. At speeds this intense and without air, we're pretty darn thankful that the pods carry their own air supply. Well, if it's fast, it's gotta be loud, right? Wrong. The Hyperloop is advertised as being remarkably quiet, so not only will it be lightning quick, but surprisingly relaxing. Up until now, there's been no fully functional Hyperloop system anywhere in the world. Discussions have floated around in the UAE and the USA, but a usable network has never been completed. In fact, the concept hasn't even been tested with human passengers. For a number of years, Hyperloop remained as little more than another one of Elon Musk's highly ambitious ideas. That all changed when British billionaire Richard Branson got involved. His company, Virgin Hyperloop One, was the first to test the technology in May of 2016. After years of negotiations, tests, funding, R&D, and perhaps most importantly, finding the ideal location to install the revolutionary transit system, we finally have a clear path to action. In 2017, Virgin signed agreements with the Indian governments of Maharashtra and Karnataka to study the impact of a Hyperloop in the region. Fast forward to July of 2019, following plenty of back and forth, the Indian government finally gave the nod for construction to go ahead. With some of the most densely populated cities on the planet, the need for efficient, fast, and reliable transport is as great in India as any other country on the planet. The construction will start here, in the state of Maharashtra, and it will provide lightning-quick transit between two sprawling cities, Mumbai, the nation's financial center, and Pune, a growing industrial and urban hub nestled in the middle of the Sahyadri Hills. Now for the question on everyone's lips, how much does a cutting-edge, space-age train actually cost to develop? We'll tell you, it's a lot. A heck of a lot. The multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project, estimated to cost about 700 billion rupees, or close enough to 10 billion American, has required funding from investors time and time again. Virgin Hyperloop One's most recent fundraising effort secured $172 million back in 2019, at least $90 million of which came from a Dubai transit and port company called DP World. The same Dubai company previously invested $25 million, while also stating that they're willing to contribute another $500 million in private capital to complete the project's first phase. Those are massive numbers, no doubt. But hey, when the dream becomes a reality, when Hyperloop will allow us to live anywhere, work anywhere, and be anywhere, the costs will be totally worth it. The cash needed to build a pioneering system is used for far more than just the pods, tracks, and first-class snacks. You'll also have to consider the cost of acquiring the land, the immense bill of paying thousands of construction workers, and the logistics of shipping new-age technology from overseas. Thankfully, at least, the government is footing the bill for all the land. The rest? Only time will tell. What about the prices to actually ride the Hyperloop? Well, unless you're forking out the big bucks for the ludicrously lavish Gold Class section, the tickets are poised to be surprisingly affordable. We're still waiting on exact figures, however, Elon Musk presented a comparable price for us. A Los Angeles to San Francisco ticket on a Hyperloop-style train would theoretically only set you back about $20, a third of the price of a regular train ticket. Speaking of the Tesla visionary, while Musk is no longer manning the helm of the Hyperloop, he still is to be credited with the initial concept. The SpaceX CEO first announced his ultra-modern transportation system back in 2013 in a 60-page letter. Clearly a busy man, Musk didn't have the time to keep the idea all to himself. In fact, he didn't want to. With an overarching philosophy to combat climate change, Musk open-sourced Hyperloop's basic design, meaning that anyone could take, adjust, and implement the high-speed idea. We know it's high-tech, we know it's a new way of thinking about common transportation, but fundamentally, how will it benefit the people? How does the pod system's speed and travel time compare to a modern-day Indian train? The roughly 100-mile route from Mumbai to Pune is one of India's busiest, with near enough to 75 million passengers making the trip every year. At the moment, it's a 3.5-hour trip. The planned Hyperloop line will connect the two urban hubs in just 35 minutes. It opens up a world of opportunities. No longer will we need to live and work in the same city, and no longer will our social circles be restricted to the same zip code. The Hyperloop won't just benefit its users, but the wider population as well. How? By tackling the beast that is global warming. Virgin Hyperloop One CEO Jay Walder made his company's intentions crystal clear. Transportation is one of the key areas that contributes to that climate crisis. We should have 21st century solutions to be able to deal with a 21st century problem. Hyperloop routes also promise to be up to 6 times more energy efficient than air travel on short routes. By reducing noise pollution, carbon emissions, and providing another opportunity for the public to rely on public transportation instead of fuel-guzzling road vehicles, we're making significant progress. The benefit extends to the Indian economy as well. If there's a surefire way to inject a boost into local spending, it's by building the world's first ever Hyperloop. Jay Walders proudly admitted that the project will generate hundreds of thousands of new high-tech jobs, create over $36 billion in wider socioeconomic benefits, and create new Hyperloop component and manufacturing opportunities to export to India and the rest of the world. Of course, there's always two sides to a coin, and the Hyperloop comes with a few uncertainties. The breakneck speed of the capsules, which remember are almost moving at the speed of sound, may cause dizziness. More importantly though, Hyperloop is still nothing more than a theoretical system. It hasn't been tested with humans, period. The company has a test facility in the desert north of Las Vegas, yet still, the pods have only reached speeds of around 240 miles per hour. While India is the obvious and contracted frontrunner, it's not the only destination with a stake in the Hyperloop game. Virgin is also planning a system to link Dubai and Abu Dhabi, which will cut travel time between the two cities to just 12 minutes. Elon Musk's very own infrastructure startup, The Boring Company, has been given the all-clear to dig a Hyperloop tunnel between Washington, D.C. and New York City. Once complete, the 3-hour Amtrak journey would be slashed to just a 30-minute pod ride. A European company called Heart Hyperloop is pioneering concepts in the EU, and there's plenty of talk of a connection between Mexico City to Guadalajara in Mexico as well. Alas, the rest of the world still sits in the shadow of India's plan. In the words of Sir Richard Branson himself, Virgin Hyperloop One can help India become a global transportation pioneer and forge a new world-changing industry. Would you feel comfortable riding